Hey everyone, not everyone deserves to be in your school community. So I'm going to be giving you 11 paths and breaking it down for it to be easy to do a video simply because of the fact that it's less words typing and it's less wordy as well. So one of the things that I done is that I made an error, and that was 10th of July 2025 when I teamed up with someone that's like family to me and fantastic guy, absolutely awesome. We just have different views on things. I see quality, quantity less, and focus on the quality. And one of the things I want to share with you and how I got results in 11 days, I got 70 plus school members in my school community, 70 plus. And then after that, the rest of the additional 30 that got us to 100, all of them actually were referrals. And how did I do that? So this is the reason why I'm doing this video, to give you the 11 paths of the calf. No script except for what I've written down, if you call it a script, but it's really just the steps. But I'm just going to be talking about it, but not going in, but going in more depth. So if you're watching this on another social media platform, you may not get the text, but if you're in the Schoolers community, this is specifically for you, because I did a post just over a day ago, and I didn't give you exact breakdown of every single step. And I want to do this as short and sweet and hopefully wrap it up in 5 minutes. So let's go. Path one, and that is create your identity. Make sure your school community connects with what you have to offer. And when I opened up this community, it was really for this clients, to work with clients, and it wasn't supposed to be open up for everyone else. But in the end, about probably 3-4 days later is when I made a decision, after speaking to a few of the clients. I was like, should we just open this up to everyone? They was like, yes. And that's what happened. So the name wasn't really where I wanted the name to be. And I'm going to say the name, but just do your research if you want to. So path one, the name must describe the outcome. If it's isolated, if it feels not like a community, if it doesn't say exactly what they're going to get when they're going to join the community, you might want to not really focus on that and use ChatGPT. One of the things I've been using a lot is ChatGPT. Other than having a team prior before, I opened up this community on my own. I've been managing it, running it all on my own with the support of the community as well. Thank you for those of you know who you are, without mentioning names. Path two, brand is equity. Now, one of the things that I made the biggest mistake for is, first and foremost, sleeping on school, because I was in school for I've been in school March last year, and a year just lurking around, not doing anything in one of the biggest school communities. And I didn't really understand it. And then Sunday the 4th of May is when I got started, and I still wasn't using school for what it was. I was doing one-time payments, bringing people in at one-time payments, and some people free as well. And what I was using it for is for people just to click on the link, the live link, which I have done a feature request for, if you can make that bigger. And people would just click on that link and they'll jump onto my live on TikTok. And I was going live for quite a few months. And I wish, if I only knew what school was about right away, I would have just used it differently. But anyway, we're going to move on from there. So never hand your brand. This is path two. Never hand your brand. And it's not a Facebook group. You own your school community. So don't hand it over to anyone. Think about it. If you are, make sure there's a legal agreement, there's contracts, and you're parting with money if you want to sell it. But don't do the mistake that I did. I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking right. I was super happy, super excited. And sometimes you need to just clarify things. Maybe you need to speak it up, talk to people, use ChatGPT, run it through ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT says about it. But one of the things I did was, I was like, okay, so the brand is been over 2 years. The movement's over 2 years. So I was like, yeah, use it, because you haven't got one for my client. And they used it. It was fantastic. I was heading it, everything. I was managing the whole community. I was sleepless nights, blood, sweat and tears, everything. But what I learned in that community with trial and testing stuff out is that gamification on top of school gamification is powerful. But we're going to move on from there now. So don't give your brand name, don't give your school name, don't mistreat your school community like a Facebook group. It is a business if you want it to be, or it could be a hobby. Up to you. Regardless, you've got a hobby plan, it's still a business, regardless. Anyway, we're going to move on from there. The next path is path three, because I'm looking at the time already, 4 minutes in. Path three, community voice. Let your community speak. That's how it becomes a community. If you're not allowing the community to speak as a bulletin board, and if you are a guru, if you're someone who's a thought leader and you're just blasting people with information over and over again, It's not helpful. It doesn't allow the community to speak. It kind of makes them feel like there's no point in them being there. You're talking at them rather than having a conversation, and that's something you don't want. So let them speak through polls. Ask them, give them a microphone when you're doing a call, a live call. Let them speak. Let them step up. Let them share their experiences. Give them a voice. That's so important. Part 3. And obviously, if you're watching the text type of this, it's not as in depth as what I'm saying to you right now. So part 3, community voice creates ownership. So any big decisions, like as if you was going to change the name, like we changed the name once, changed the name for what it originally was. Because at the start, remember, it's for my client. So it was a different name. And I was decided, I'm going to go back with the name that I originally gave to my my first client on Skool. And because we've done a lot of marketing, branding and all of that. So this made sense. But the point is, it's a movement. That was the focus. And you have to think to yourself, what do you want to get from your community? So the next thing is, so I've gone through part 3, discuss changes openly, let members feel it's theirs, and that buys in and it reduces churn. Part 4. But you know what? Another thing that reduces churn, and if I've mentioned it prior before in the next paths, because I don't remember every path, there's 11 paths, so we're already on we're moving on to part 4. But what I wanted to mention is that use your active members' affiliate IDs and refer people through their affiliate IDs with a rotator, a website rotator that rotates the affiliate IDs, especially your active members. And that's going to reduce churn, especially if your community is a paid community or they go on to buy something in your community, with the tiers, the upgrade. They're not earning money, the less likely are to leave. And if they do leave, it's a win-win-win for you regardless. But reward the active members in any way that you can. And that's one of the ways that Skool is giving you. You can reward them up to 50% or be minimal to 10. So it's 10 up to 50%. So you decide what you want to give and go reward your active community members. This will heavily help you with reducing churn. The next thing you want to be doing, part 4, fast growth without belonging leaks. You know what? What I mean by that basically is speed looks great, but when you're growing so fast, you're not seeing everyone, and that's leaky. That's people leaking through, and that's one of the things that I noticed is I wasn't seeing everyone. So one of the things I was doing was bringing everyone in because it was so fast, the growth was so quickly. Remember, 70 people in 11 days. It was bulk invites, welcoming people in and all of those things. And also as well, every time I welcome people in the bulk invite, anyone that referred anyone, I would highlight them and say thank you and also put their community name in. But that's just how this community runs. But anyway, going to move on from there. Path 5, spotlight. Bulk welcomes removes belonging. As I mentioned already, I've already gone through so that's path 5. Path 5. Individual gives a spotlight. It allows them to have a chance to speak. It allows them to be seen. It also makes you focus and see them as well. Because when I was re-inviting everyone after the name change, I asked everyone if they wanted this name change. I made it a community vote. Do you want the name change, or should we stay with the name that we already have? And it was the majority vote was change the name. And then after that, I then reintroduced 120 members back into the community, letting them know exactly what the community is about. We'll be going into that in a bit more depth. The next thing is path 6, reintroducing, as I mentioned, I'm touching on that. I'm going to get into it. Now, one of the things I did was I mentioned who each member was and what they were about. So it's very important that you have a bio. Make sure your profile has a bio. Complete the Myers-Briggs type test and all of that. Put that in there. It just helps when people are introducing you into the community. They have something to introduce and they get to know you, as well as it builds rapport as well. It starts to build rapport. Now, path 7, visual onboarding beats explanation. What do I mean by that? Stickmen images. Use drawings, stickmen images, simplify things, age 5 to 8. And that's where it leads on to path 8. Shout out Alex Amose. 5 to 8-year-old clarity is priceless. As soon as I did that, that's when the onboarding process got much more smoother. People were understanding it. I did stickmen images, nothing complicated. Win chicken dinner. Christmas time coming up. Anyway, so no fancy words, no jargon. Keep it so super simple. Simple is better. Like, it's not like you're talking down to anyone. You're just making it simple for them to understand and process it. You have to take into account people's got kids. They might be using the toilet. They might have been between doing something, taking the kids to school, whatever the scenario is, working. And there's loads of other communities, loads of distractions, TV, gaming, relationships, family, children again, drama, all sorts of things going on. So remember, people's got short attention spans. To keep it really, really simple. Just keep it simple. And that's one of the things I learned from Alex Amose. So once again, shout out Alex Amose. People take action when they understand what they need to take action for. So I always add a picture. So use the things that you've got available. When you're doing a post, I had a little picture with little instructions in there. And I also put the information in the text, in the captation, to let them know exactly what I'm expecting from them for the onboarding process. Next thing. And one of the other things I want to mention as well is break the ice already. I've started to implement breaking the ice in the messages. So make sure it's just like the way I do welcome posts is that it answers a question, gives an answer like, are you a night person? Are you an early bird or a night owl? And it adds conversation. It breaks the ice immediately. Everyone starts having a conversation. People are just not just welcoming anymore like a machine. Welcome, 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 welcome. It actually breaks the ice, and it's powerful, and it works, and it can work for you as it works for us. Next thing. Stickman images, I've already mentioned that. That was path 7. Visual onboarding beats explanation. Stickman onboarding works because it's simple. Simple, 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 simple. Path 8, speak simple to move fast. We've gone into path 8 already. We've done that. So far we're on path 9 now. Filter entry protects culture. What do I mean by that? Filter the people coming into your community. Don't get hungry. Don't just bring people in. Like, you're wasting your time welcoming them in. If they're a bot. What does a bot look like? Well, a really easy way to explain it, because I'm not sharing a screen or any of that, keeping it simple, is that a bot is someone who's not active. You got the green little squares, little check mark squares, and it shows activities. If it's all over the place, nah. This is how I do it anyway. How you do it may be different. But I look at a person, I look at the picture. Is it AI? It's not AI. It doesn't matter if it's AI, because if they've got a community, straight in access, they can get in, because if they've done verification, they're a real person. They have a community. And I mean, not just any community, not just 1, 2, 3 people, hundreds of people in there. Okay, that's a real person. Then other way of verifying people, if they've got social media, has someone else verified them? Is there affiliate ID? If someone else has referred them, ask that person, because sometimes people lie about who referred them. So you want to make sure that your onboarding process, your plug and play for every community, you can do this. What I mean, every community, but hobby and pro, you can do this. Have a questionnaire, ask people who referred them, where they came from, and any other information you want to know, ask that information, but always ask, who referred you? Where did you come from? Did you come from Schoolers? Did you come from a friend, an affiliate, a Facebook group? Where did you come from? Until Schoolers, school roll out where people are coming from, I highly recommend you to do that. And this is going to help you to not be welcoming, wasting your time, DMing people, especially if you've got a hobby plan, because you can't do auto DMs. On a pro plan, you can do auto DMs. So that's a win on the pro plan. When on the hobby plan, make sure that every person that you welcome in, you go and DM them right away before they leave, because if they leave and you welcome them and you message them, that goes against you. You can only message 10 people a week. Cold DMs, only 10 people. So if they've come out of your community, they're no longer in your communities, therefore you're cold DMing them. So as soon as you welcome them in, you have to do the work of DMing them as well. And for those of you got a pro plan and you haven't got auto DMs on, why not, man? Add it on. Let's make it simple. At least it helps you out with the work rate. If you don't want to do that, still do the exact same process as the hobby, because if they leave, they become a cold DM. Anyway, that's not on the write-up. So there you go, extra value there. So that's path 9. Filter the culture. Don't be hungry. I see people welcoming bots in, people that ain't real. I mean, there's one person I've got at the moment. It says Nick Doe, and in the UK, if you nick something, that means you got nicked by the police. You got taken. So someone's come in and they've called themselves Nick Doe, and clearly it's a fake account. Anyway, we're gonna move on from there. Final. Coming up to the final one, design an engagement system. Remember I mentioned about gamification on top of school gamification? It's Christmas time. Add a Christmas tree or so forth. This is what we're doing. It's shot our engagement up from 2 to 500 engagement, about 3 to 500 activity a day to 1,870 activities in a day from gamification. And all that was just doing a video, adding an image in there, a Christmas tree or something there, and saying, look for this image. And when you find it, you get points, you get rewarded, and so forth. And what that done was we focused on the people that didn't have any activity, no likes, no comments. And this encouraged people, the members, the active members, to go look for those posts, and that boosted engagement. But it was fun because it was rewarded, because when they had to find the post, they had to find the image, they had to like, and they had to comment. And real, not no fake little 1 minute thing with thirst or, one message, actual real welcoming or supportive message that relatable to the post. And this helped with engagement. So there's no engagement farming. It's not just the first message, boom, claim the GIF and claim the points. It was none of that. So gamification works really well as challenges. Challenges work absolutely fantastic. I had a Not Your Story challenge, worked beautifully, breaks the ice. You get one community member to share somebody else's message, their story, and vice versa. And then they have to present it in a way, maybe they could rap, maybe they could sing, maybe they could dance, however they want to do it. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's AI, maybe it's a book, maybe it's an ebook, maybe it's a picture, but they share their story in their own unique way. And if you implement everything that I've been sharing with you, you will get in some ways instant results. Next and final, but not least, path 11, invite leadership. Members, when you are going with community owners, when you allow people to do a school call, when you do a Zoom, ask the community who wants to speak up, who wants to step up, who wants to present, who wants to share. Allow them to give them a microphone, let them be heard, let them feel seen. And I wanted this to be 5 minutes, but I hope you found value in this. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching this. Have an awesome holiday, Christmas. If you celebrate it, New Year's, have a happy New Year. This is my big one. One of the main things I want to focus with you, and I spoke to Jenna regarding this today. She was talking about engagement farming, messaging and doing all these first messages and so forth. Make sure your messages are full length long, man. Doesn't matter if you're not first. If you put a value message in, it's going to help. And it isn't even on here. It's not on the list. See, it's not on the list. It's not on the list. So anyway, moving on from there, what I wanted to say to you, the final thing is path 11, give them a microphone, let your community be able to have a voice. Thank you. This is how I got to 70 plus members in 11 days. Fast is not always fun. Welcome people individually. Use the actual thing. Don't use instant welcome, like instant access to your community, and be very, very vigilant on who you bring into your community. Because as far as I'm concerned, concerns to me is that if someone comes in and they scam anyone, it's my responsibility to make sure, as you as a leader, as the community owner, that you support the community and you protect them. Okay, so one of the things you want to be taking into account, it's not about the numbers, it's about the quality. It's about the quality of the people coming in. And also as well, take your time. It's not a race. Just enjoy yourself, have fun, and love what you do. Enjoy what you do. And I hope you found value in this video. I was just going to type it all, but I was like, I could put so much more into a video. And one of the things I'll say to you right now, yes, sleepless nights, yes, pain. I mean, my daughter had a viral infection, and that wasn't great. Kids are all catching this stuff at this time of the year. And I've had some sleepless nights, and it's not easy. It's not as painful, but remember, treat this as a business or enjoy it as a hobby, whatever you want to do. But really, this is a business and you can win with this. You can. And despite all of this stuff there, I have been generating income. I mean, it was one Saturday, I was kind of feeling a bit down, I felt a bit under the weather. I was just like, you know what, this isn't really working out. Like, we have those moments. I'm only human. And cha-ching, $150 went straight in, was paid for one of my services that I provide. And that was a nice feeling, because I was feeling a bit low, and I've got everything in there written down, and I've had to start this all over again. Whereas like I said at the start of this whole post and everything, that really be wary on who you do business with, and make sure that your values are strong and solid foundation. But yeah, once again, make sure, and the final thing I want to say to you right now is, when you're running your community, just have fun, enjoy yourself, get to know the community. Don't be overly posting, allow others to post, find out what the community wants, and build your classroom around what the need is of the community, because that's where they're going to buy. If you're selling anything, they will buy what you're selling because they've asked for it. And that's it. Final, done and dusted. Thank you. Bye.